This is section 5.3, Normal Distributions, Finding Values. In this section, we're going to learn how to find a z-score given the area under the normal curve, and how to find a specific data value of a normal distribution given the probability. In section 5.2, we were given a normally distributed random variable x, and we were asked to find a probability. In this section, we will be given a probability, and we will be asked to find the value of the random variable x. So we're going in the reverse. Let's look at example 1. We want to find the z-score that corresponds to a cumulative area of 0.3632. Remember, cumulative area is area to the left of a z-score. So let's look at the graph and the solution. The area shaded in blue corresponds to 0.3632. This is the area to the left of z. In order to find the z-score, we're going to use the inverse norm function on our TI-84 calculator. So I pulled up my calculator here. In order to get to the inverse norm function, I'm going to go to second and then vars, and then I'm going to arrow down to number 3, INV norm, and press enter. Area is what we're given, so we're given the area here is 0.3632, so I'm going to type in 0.3632. The mean is 0 because we're in the standard normal, and the standard deviation in the standard normal is 1. So I'm going to type in 1, arrow down to paste, and select enter. And then I'm going to select enter again. So the z-score that corresponds to a cumulative area of 0.3632 is approximately negative 0.35, rounding to 2 decimal places. Going back to our PowerPoint slides, you can see that that's the solution that I also have here. Note the format for writing your answer is INV capital NORM, open parentheses, area, comma, mean, comma, standard deviation, close parentheses. In my answer, my solution, I have the z-score equals INV norm, open paren, the first thing I have is the area, 0.3632, then the mean, which is 0, and then the standard deviation, which is 1, close my paren, and then my solution, which is approximately negative 0.35. Let's look at another example. In this example, I want to find the z-score that has 10.75% of the distribution's area to its right. Okay, so now looking at my curve, here's my normal curve, and now the area is to the right. So the first thing we need to do is notice that we need to convert the percent, 10.75%, into decimal form. So that's 0.1075. The next thing we need to do is realize that the area is to the right. Our TI-84 calculator calculates area to the left of a z-score. So we know the total area under the curve is equal to 1. So the area to the left, the area that's not shaded, is going to equal 1 minus the area that is shaded. So 1 minus 0.1075. So I'm going to go back to inverse norm on my calculator, second, and then vars, and then arrow down to number 3 and select enter. Now my area I'm going to input is 1 minus 0.1075 because I need the area to the left of the z-score. The mean is still 0 and the standard deviation is still 1 because I'm in the standard normal. So I'm going to arrow down to paste and select enter. And then enter again. So the z-score that corresponds to an area that has 10.75% of the distribution's area to its right is approximately 1.24. So if I were to scroll down, you can see that the z-score is 1.24. Again, notice the format. Z-score equals INV capital NORM, open parentheses, the area, which is the 1 minus 0.1075 or 0.8925, the mean, which is 0, and the standard deviation, which is 1. Now we want to look at another example. We want to find the z-score that corresponds to p sub 5. P in this case means percent, so we're looking for the 5th percentile. P means percentile. So we look at the curve that's provided, and the area is 0.05. When you're given a percentile, it's always in cumulative area, so it's going to always be area to the left of a z-score. So now we want to find the z-score that has 0.05 area to the left. Again, we're going to use our TI-84 calculator in order to solve the problem. Again, I'm going to go to second and then vars, arrow down to INV norm, select enter. This time the area is 0.05, so 0.05. The mean is still 0. The standard deviation is 1. I'm going to arrow down to paste and select enter, and then enter again. And you can see our solution. The z-score is approximately negative 1.64. Okay, let's go to the next example. Here we want to find the z-score that corresponds to p sub 50, or the 50th percentile. So that means we want to find the z-score that has half of its area, or 0.5 area, to the left. So you can see it's shaded in blue. The area is 0.5, or 50%. And since that's half of the curve that's shaded, we know that's right. That corresponds to a z-score of 0. You could also do it on your calculator, going to second and then vars, arrow down again to inverse norm, select enter. This time our area is going to be 0.5 and the mean is 0. The standard deviation is still 1. Arrow down to paste and select enter, and enter one more time, and you can see the z-score corresponds to 0. And we'll have one more example using a percentile. In this case, we want to find the z-score that corresponds to the 90th percentile. So here you can see it's shaded, the area is shaded, and we're looking for what this z-score would be. It's already, this is the solution, so you can see it now, but we're looking for a z-score that has 90% of its area to the left. So we're going to, again, use our calculator, go to second and then vars, arrow down to inverse norm, select enter. The area is 0.9. We're still in the standard normal, so the mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1, and I'm going to select paste and then enter again, and I get my solution to be 1.28. So that's the z-score that has 90% of its area to the left. Okay, we can use the same approach for when we're looking to find a specific data value. Now we're no longer in the standard normal, but we're in having a normal distribution. So let's look at this example. Scores for the California Peace Officer Standards and Training Test are normally distributed, with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 10. An agency will only hire applicants with scores in the top 10%. What is the lowest score you can earn and still be eligible to be hired by the agency? Okay, so let's think about what we know. We're given that the tests are normally distributed. We're also told that the mean is 50 and the standard deviation is 10. We're also told that they will only hire applicants with scores in the top 10%. So that means 10% of the area to the right if we're looking at our curve. So let's actually arrow down and just look at this curve. So here is our normal distribution, and the mean is 50, and we're looking for what this z-score would be with 10% of its area to the right. Well, an exam score in the top 10% is any exam score above the 90th percentile. So 90% of the area is going to be to the left. So that's what we're going to use when we use the inverse norm function on our calculator. So we're going to go second and then vars, then arrow down to inverse norm and select enter. The area is 0.9, but the mean is no longer 0. Now we have a mean of 50, and the standard deviation is 10. So I'm inputting 10, then I'm going to arrow down to paste, select enter, and then select enter again. And you can see that the lowest score you can earn and still be eligible to be hired by the agency is about 63. That's the data value that corresponds to 90% of its area to its left. Let's look at another example. Here, in a recent study on world happiness, participants were asked to evaluate their current lives on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 represents the worst possible life and 10 represents the best possible life. The mean response was 5.2 with a standard deviation of 2.5. What response represents the 67th percentile? So we're going to look at A. We're given that the mean is 5.2 and the standard deviation is 2.5. So again, we're going to be looking to use the inverse norm function on our calculator. So I'm going to go to second and then vars, arrow down to inverse norm. The area corresponds to the percentile. So in this case, we're asked to find the response that represents the 67th percentile. So we need to convert that to a decimal. That's 0.67. Then I'm going to arrow down. The mean in this case is 5.2. Enter that. And then the standard deviation is 2.5. So I'm going to enter that. Then arrow down to paste and select enter. And then enter again. So the response that represents the 67th percentile is approximately 6.3 if we're going to round to this first decimal point. Okay, then next in B, we're asked to find what response represents the 95th percentile. So we're going to use the same approach, except for instead of 67th percentile, now we have the 95th percentile. So the area corresponds to 0.95. So I'm going to go back to second and then vars. Arrow down to number 3, inverse norm, select enter. And this time I'm going to input from my area 0.95, and then my mean and standard deviation don't change. I'm going to select enter and then enter again. So the response that represents the 95th percentile is 9.31 approximately. Okay, C asks what response represents the third quartile. Remember, quartiles are in fourths. So the first quartile is 25%, the second quartile or the median is 50%, the third quartile is 75%. So now we're in the 75th percentile. So we're going to do the same, use the same inverse norm function on our calculator. Go to second and then vars. Arrow down to inverse norm and select enter. Our area is 0.75 and our mean and standard deviation haven't changed. So I'm going to select enter and then enter again. And you can see that the response that represents the third quartile is approximately 6.89%. I mean, or is 6.89, not percent. Okay, and the solutions are shown on the next slide. In example C, part C, they round to 1 decimal point, so just 6.9. All right, so in section 5.3, we found a z-score given the area under the normal curve, and we found a specific data value of a normal distribution given the probability. And that's all there is.